Down on the 50 yards line. Nicely caught by Colm Doran there. Colm getting rid of it first time. Good tactics against the breeze. Running it back there to collect it for Kilkenny is Pat Lawler and getting it out. John Quigley sort of overrunning that one, but the 3 Wexford men to 1 Kilkenny man. And it comes to a Kilkenny man just the same. It's Frank Cummins, 70 yards out. Sliced that a bit, but it's accurate enough just the same. Going right in towards the goal. Curtin Purcell pulling on it hard. Mick Trotty's there as well. It's Curtin Purcell scoring a goal. That breeze, I think, causing some difficulties to players on both sides, because it's a diagonal breeze across the field, and it's not too easy to judge it, especially in the early stages of the game, as Pat Nolan pucks out again. Gets it as far as the halfway line. Martin Quigley sends it further. On up to substitute Joe Murphy there. Show Jim Tracy on him. Still Joe Murphy though. Getting it across nicely to Jack Brady, and a goal from Jack Brady. Eddie Kerr to take it, 21 yards free for Kilkenny. The team is level and 18 minutes gone in the first half. Eddie has been known to go for goals, maybe not this early, and maybe he is too. Tries and gets it, a good goal for Kilkenny. Just inside the Wexford 70 yards line, Martin Coogan to cut it. One spinning there as he hit it. Doubt where it is for a moment, and it's Pat Delaney, 25 yards out, getting a great goal. And it goes to Joe Murphy. Joe to Tony Doran. Not an accurate pass, but Tony still has it. Pat Henderson after him. Tony Doran now a very acute angle. Oh, sending it across dangerously there. Jack Brady gets a stick to it. It's a goal. Ned Buggy the scorer. Good puck out there by Pat Nolan against the breeze. And dithering going on for a moment as Christy Keogh gets it to Tony Doran. Christy Keogh inside him. That's not a great pass from Tony Doran, but Christy Keogh gets it just the same. Still going through. Loses the ball. Pulled on by Dan Quigley, another goal. Up along towards Mick Brennan. Mick having a good run, but his pass going astray. Well intercepted there and cleared out by Teddy O'Connor. Christy Keogh again for Wexford just inside the 50 yards line of the Kilkenny half. Sending it into the centre. Tony Doran is up there, so is Dan Quigley. He's got that ball again. Palms it out towards Joe Murphy. Shot from Joe to Tony Doran, a goal. Tony Doran. .31.5 minutes gone in the first half. And now Wexford ahead 4-6 to Kilkenny's 3-6. That Kilkenny. And Wexford the goal ahead as the second half starts in this Leinster hurling final. Tony Doran sending it a little bit further. That's Ned Buggy sending it further again. On towards Christy Keogh, 50 yards out. Dangerous ball from Christy. Jack Brady's under. It's a goal! It's a goal for Wexford. Fran Larkin cuts it now for Kilkenny. Right across the field towards Martin Coogan. Doesn't quite hold on to it. Christy Keogh after it for Wexford. Christy on the ground and Martin gets the ball. Martin almost on the ground too, but he gets it to Pat Henderson who drops it. And now it's Dan Quigley for Wexford. To Tony Doran for Wexford. Palming it on to Christy Keogh for Wexford. A shot and a goal. Blocked down by Willie Murphy for Wexford. These Wexford men really going for that ball now. And Martin Coogan first timing it back up into the Wexford half again. Tom Neville got his hand to it. Blocked it down to John Quigley. And John gets rid of it again. Wexford playing far more first time hurling. Now as the ball runs on there to Ned Buggy. Ned's trying to get a pass out, but didn't work this time. Jim Tracy's there for Kilkenny, and Jim sending it right up. Scooped out a bit by Mick Jacob for Wexford. Sent back in again there towards Curtin Purcell. Kilkenny needing goals now, and Curtin is 21 out. 14 out as he shoots, and he's got a goal. .68 for Wexford, 4-7 for Kilkenny. This game isn't over by any means yet. We still have 30 minutes to play. And the referee calling back play on towards Mick Trotty. Mick is 60 yards out in the Wexford post. He's 50 out now. Pounds the ball on towards Eddie Kerr. Eddie gets the ball in the stick. He's cleared 21 yards out. Takes a shot for Kilkenny. A great goal. There's only a goal between them. We've 11 minutes to play. And as I said just a couple of moments ago, 2 goals in a game like this is very little indeed. We were talking at the very beginning of the high scores in these Leinster finals between Kilkenny and Wexford. We've got them again today. 6-11 Wexford, 5-11 Kilkenny, and still 11 minutes to go. Tony Doran gets the ball, strokes it ahead and sends it over the bar. A good point. No messing about that one from Tony Doran, collecting it, turning, sort of scooping it forward ahead of him and over the bar. 6-12 then Wexford, 5-11 Kilkenny, 4 points in the difference. Noel Skane pucks out again for Kilkenny, right into the centre of the field. It's added to a little bit there, but it goes back towards, waiting for his Matt Brown. He's hooked the first time. Eddie Kearney's got the ball, he's 40 yards out. Sending it over this side of the field. It was going astray all the time though. Liam O'Brien having it cut off by Phil Wilson, and now Phil Wilson be pursued by Eddie Kerr, but Phil gets his clearance back out into the centre of the field again. A real bundle of players going for it. Christy Keogh getting it up into his hand, back in his own half of the field for Wexford, and drives it into the Kilkenny half, dropping about 50 yards out. Pat Dillon going up for it. The ball going loose towards Joe Murphy. Joe sending it ahead there of Ned Buggy for Wexford. Ned is hooked the first time by Pat Dillon, and Pat's going to get the ball the second time. Or is he? It's Dan Quigley trying to get hold of it, but Fran Larkin roots it away off the boot of Dan Quigley out over the end line, and it is wide. 4 points in the difference. Wexford leading 6-12 to Kilkenny's 5-11. Noel Skane to puck out, and we've just under 10 minutes left to play. Noel not quite making the halfway line with that puck out against the breeze. It's caught by Frank Cummins for Kilkenny. Goes back into his own half to get some room for himself. Trying to get it up towards Mick Crotty. Mick slips as he goes for it. Runs on towards Pat Delaney. Pat doesn't get hold of it. It's nudged out instead there for Wexford by Mick Jacob. And the ball going away down into the Kilkenny half of the field again. Going after it, Ned Buggy, right down there under Hill 16. Lobs it across the goal. Dan Quigley's up for it. So is Fran Larkin. It's gone between them. It's gone towards the end line. It's gone over the end line. And it's gone wide. That was an untypical piece of loose play in this game today, because very few players have got as much freedom as Ned Buggy did in that particular incident. He had yards and yards to spare. It doesn't happen that often. From the puck out, a nice catch by Paddy Morden, playing, as we said, at centre field for Kilkenny. Paddy turns now and drops the ball about 21 yards out from the Wexford. That was an untypical piece of loose play in this game today, because very few players have got as much freedom as Ned Buggy did in that particular incident. He had yards and yards to spare. It doesn't happen that often. From the puck out, a nice catch by Paddy Morden, playing, as we said, at centre field for Kilkenny. Paddy turns now and drops the ball about 21 yards out from the Wexford post. Trying to get in there after the ball is Kieran Purcell. He's being fouled, and it's a 21 yards free for Kilkenny. Eddie Kerr, who is also involved there, is feeling the side of his face. He's up and all right, as far as we can see. And Eddie's going to take this 21 yards free, very fractionally to the left of the posts, with 4 points between them, and Wexford holding that 4-point advantage. Will Eddie try for the goal? He shoots, he keeps it low. It's blocked down in the goal mouth. They're trying to scramble it away. They have scrambled it away out over the end line for a 70. The man who scrambled it out was Matt Brown. I'd say he'd prefer to see it over the end line than in the back of the net. So the Kilkenny pressure is continuing, as we have these 14 Kilkenny men against 15 Wexford men. And this 70 for Kilkenny is to the right of the post, to be taken by the left-handed Martin Coogan. Martin, oh, that's a great high one against that breeze, dropping it just down on the edge of the square. They're pulling on it everywhere. It's got rid of by Willie Murphy. It comes out over the sideline on this side of the field, and it's a line ball for Kilkenny. They're putting on the pressure now. Time is moving along. We've 32 minutes gone in this half. Coming out to take this line ball, Liam O'Brien. It's about 21 yards out on the right. Liam cuts it in right to the edge of the square. They're pulling on it there. It's grabbed by goalkeeper Pat Nolan. And Pat clearing the ball away through Forrest Hurley's. It's blocked down though by Pat Henderson, who drives it right back again out towards the left wing, and it's gone harmlessly wide, because I don't think the forwards were expecting it to come back quite so fast, and it's now a puck out for Wexford. Pat Nolan waiting to take the puck out. Gone right back behind his goal there to take it. Coming out now. Pucks it now. Breeze carrying it on, dropping about 50 yards out. Tony Doran didn't know much about where that one was as he swung on it, but didn't get hold of it anyway. It's knocked out there by Pat Lawler into the Wexford half of the field. Pat Delaney getting it 40 yards out from the Wexford post. He's on the right. He's going into the centre now as he takes a shot. It's blocked the first time there by Mick Jacob, and the second time, and it goes back to Colm Doran, and Colm is hooked and beaten by Mick Crotty. Mick gets the ball now, 30 yards out, shoots. It's blocked down by Pat Nolan in the goal mouth, but it's still in after. Kieran Purcell takes a shot. Eddie Kerr is in after it as well, as the ball is blocked down, grabbed by Pat Nolan, and Pat clears it away, but he's gone over the end line. He has gone over the end line. The umpire's hand is in the air, and it's going to be a 70 for Kilkenny, who are now coming right back into it again with 4 points of a lead to pull down, and 34 or very nearly 34 minutes gone in the second half. Another 70 then for Kilkenny to the left of the post this time, and Martin Coogan going to take it. Martin keeping this one low. Whether he meant to or not, I don't know. It comes down about 21 yards out. Willie Murphy pulls on her anywhere. It's coming out towards the sideline. It's gone over the sideline, just on the 50 yards line, and it's a line ball for Kilkenny. Kilkenny doing all the pressing, not doing a great deal of the scoring. Pat Lawler to cut it in. Pat cuts it now. Goes right across towards the far side. Kieran Purse coming out, doesn't get hold of it. Eddie Kerr does. 21 yards out, given to Martin Coogan. Martin takes a shot, and it's blocked and saved by Pat Nolan. What a great save as Martin Coogan came up to attack there. Cleared further by Phil Wilson. Back into the Kilkenny half of the field again. Tony Doran tussling there with Pat Henderson. Pat comes out the better this time, and Pat sending it ahead there of Martin Coogan. Gone back into his position again now. Martin coming up into the forward line, but he's knocked off the ball by Christy Keogh. And Christy is a Wexford forward, but he's helping to defend now. Palms it back towards Martin quickly, and Martin first timing it away down into the corner. Jim Tracy's there. Neither friend nor foe inside as Jim clears it out. Not maybe as long a one as he'd like, but he drops it into the centre of the field. Christy Keogh brings it down, doesn't hold on to it cleanly though. Paddy Morden trying to get it into his hand. Paddy keeping it on the ground now, deciding he won't bother trying to pick it up. But his clearance is not a good one, and it goes straight into the hands of Martin Quigley. Martin for Wexford, sending it down towards the left, towards his brother Dan, but Dan is beaten to it by the quickly advancing Fran Larkin. And Fran just inside his own 50 yards line, a shortish pass for Kilkenny that goes astray, but luckily the man who intercepted it slipped and fell. He was Joe Murphy, and it's collected for Kilkenny and driven forward by Pat Lawler right back into the Wexford half, and a beautiful catch there by Mick Jacob again for Wexford over towards the far side of the field towards Christy Keogh. Christy running on now, 60 yards out, 50 out, away out on the right. Martin Coogan after him, sends the ball in, but he sends it straight to a Kilkenny man. It's Jim Tracy who clears it back out, and he sends it straight to a Wexford man. 60 yards out is Tony Doran. Tony dropping it in towards Dan Quigley. Dan swinging a stick at it, but it's not a hard one, and a save by goalkeeper Noel Skehan. Noel getting the ball out again for Kilkenny, back into the centre of the field. Under it is Phil Wilson. Phil trying to get hold of it, so also was Liam O'Brien. A bit of holding going on, and it's a free. A free for Kilkenny, just inside their own half of the field, and Phil Wilson signalling for help from the sideline. He seems to have hurt himself, his leg. Not in any immediate distress, I think, but he is signalling that his leg is hurt. In fact, he's standing again on it now as Pat Henderson takes this free for Kilkenny. It's blocked out the first time by Teddy O'Connor. Going back for it, getting hold of it, Martin Coogan sending it across in towards the goal mouth again. Martin lobbing in, Kieran Purse swinging a stick, and out comes goalkeeper Pat Nolan, and Pat sends it away towards the sideline. It's not going out of play yet though, as there's a bit of a rough and tumble going on in the Wexford goal mouth. Eddie Kerr gets the ball, slips it back towards Liam O'Brien. Liam 21 yards out, being marked very, very closely indeed. Sends a pass on in towards Kieran Purcell. He gets it towards Frank Cummins. A shot from Frank and a goal. Frank Cummins sticking it in the net. 36 and a half minutes gone. That leaves 3.5 to play. There's 1 point between them. Wexford 6-12, Kilkenny 6-11. You can't get them much closer than that after pretty nearly 80 minutes of hurling. Now the life is right back in the game again as Pat Nolan pucks out for Wexford, a longer one than ever. Christy Keogh gets it on the loose. Christy trying to get those scores that'll count now for Wexford, sending it across. Dan Quigley trying to swing a stick at it, being watched all the way by Fran Larkin. Can't get hold of it, and it's gone wide. By my timing, we've just those 3 minutes, slightly less to play. 6-12, 6-11. Wexford leading. One single point in it. The ball is pucked out. Christy Keogh getting it to Tony Doran. Tony back to Christy Keogh. 70 yards out for Wexford. Christy trying to drive it forward. Sends it about 20 yards instead. Straight to Pat Henderson. Pat passing it back to Pa Dillon. Pa passing it over this side towards Pat Lawler, one of the few Kilkenny men unmarked, and he sends it back into the Wexford half. Pat Delaney tries to flick it forward, but it's got out there and into the hands of Frank Cummins. Frank takes a shot for Kilkenny. It's gone to the right of the post. Kieran Purcell keeping it in play, but out comes goalkeeper Pat Nolan. He's hooked. And Pat and Kieran Purcell pulling away on the ball there. The referee's whistle goes to free in for Kilkenny. A free in for Kilkenny. And Eddie Kerr is going to take it. A 21 yards free to the right of the post. Not very far to the right. About 2 minutes to go. A point between them. Eddie takes it. They're level. Kilkenny 6 goals and 12 points. Wexford 6 goals and 12 points. I reckon we've about a minute and a half to go. My watch isn't used to keeping 40 minutes though, so perhaps it could be a second or two out, but I'm not too sure it is. As Pat Nolan pucks it out for Wexford. Tremendous excitement in Croke Park. Tony Doran grabs it, 50 yards out, down he comes. Isn't fouled though, passed it on instead to Joe Murphy. Joe shoots for Wexford, the shot of the ball. Oh, great stuff there from Tony Doran. He got a knock, he wasn't fouled, he was on the ground, he passed it to Joe Murphy and Joe stuck it over the bar. Wexford leading 6-13 to 6-12. Ball pucked out already. We're in the last minute by my timing. Kilkenny man Pat Lawler has it, he's fouled just inside his own half the field. Fran Larkin going to take the free for Kilkenny. Referee pointing out where it should be taken from. Wexford sneaked ahead there again. Another point, 6-13 to 6-12 as Fran Larkin takes this free. Dropping on about 14 yards out. A tremendous bundle of players going for it. The one that comes out is knocked down with the ball for Wexford. Clears it over towards the sideline. Over the sideline, in fact. And by my timing, we've 30 seconds to go. Referee looking at his watch. The crowd whistling. 6-13 Wexford, 6-12 Kilkenny. One single point in it. Jim Tracy takes the cut in from the halfway line. It goes up along the left wing. Trying to get into his hand is Martin Quigley. He succeeds. And out he comes with the ball. Crosses the 50-yard line for Wexford. Drives it over towards the far side. Blocked down there by Pat Lawler for Kilkenny on the halfway line. And Pat with the ball now. Trying to get it into his hand. Succeeds. Sends it not too far. Dropping it about 50 yards out. Into the hands of Mick Trotty. Make a shot for Kilkenny and it's over the bar. There. Nolsky to puck out again for Kilkenny. High one from Noel, good long one from Noel as well. Coming down about 50 yards out from the Wexford posts. Grabbed brilliantly by Mick Jacob. Mick passing it out over towards Willie Murphy. Willie getting that ball now just inside his own 50 yards line. And hitting it along the wing, not too far. It's sent further by Phil Wilson though, up towards Christy Keogh. Christy has it now, 60 yards out. That's a nice shot under pressure, a dangerous one too. Jack Brady's there, it's in the net, it's a goal. Well, it's a goal and 2 points for Wexford. Jack Brady just a moment ago scored Wexford's goal. It's 3 points for Kilkenny. That's 5 points to 3, and we're just over halfway through this first half as Wexford defending now. Kilkenny putting under pressure, but Liam O'Brien gets the ball 60 yards out from the Wexford post. And Liam for Kilkenny, dropping it in right onto the bar. Kieran Purcell swings the stick at it. The ball is saved, and the second time rushing in, getting hold of it is Mossy Murphy, and he sends it wide. Pat dropping it down about 60 yards from the Kilkenny posts. Stopped by Pat Lawler. Pat goes after himself, gets it now for Kilkenny, sends it out towards the far side of the field, looking for Eddie Kerr there. Eddie being watched all the time and being beaten there by Colm Doran, and Colm comes out with that ball, evades a couple of tackles, and eventually he doesn't evade another one. That's a free out. It's a free out for Wexford. Wexford half-back line playing extremely well today. Coming up to take this free, 60 yards from his own post, Willie Murphy dropping it down on the edge of the square. It's hit there by the corner man Dan Quigley. Saved by Noel Skehan. Noel comes out after it. Pat Henderson and Pat Dillon are there as well. The referee's whistle goes. The ball has gone out between them, out for the 70, and it's about a yard or so to the left of the post, the 70 for Wexford. Just maybe 2 yards to the left of the post. The umpire is standing there now holding his hand up, and that's Mick Jacob going to take it. Wexford leading 1-2 to Kilkenny's 3 points. That's 5 points to 3 as Mick takes it now. It's swinging nicely over the bar, and there's a goal in the difference. 22 minutes gone in this first half. That means we've still 18 minutes to go to half time, and it's now Wexford 1 goal and 3 points, Kilkenny 3 points. A clear goal lead now for Wexford. Noel Skehan pucking out again for Kilkenny, and it comes just to the centre of the field. It runs on a tiny bit. Neither centre fielder gets hold of it. Eventually Pat Delaney helping out the centre fielders gets it for Kilkenny up to about 50 yards from the Wexford posts. Out this side of the field, swinging it across, Mossy Murphy in towards the goal there. Kieran Purcell is there as well. The ball back down in front of the goal. Willie Murphy trying to get it away, so is Tom Neville. Tom succeeds. It goes to John Kinslett on the 14 yards line. Willie Murphy's there with him, and he loses the ball, but it goes to Colm Doran, and out comes Colm with that ball for Wexford and clears it away. Good defensive work by this Wexford half-back line. Martin Coogan doesn't get that one, but instead it's Pat Henderson steers it ahead there for Kilkenny out to about 50 yards from the Wexford post on towards Liam O'Brien. Liam sending it out over towards John Kinsella. John swinging it across from the left, and Pat Nolan well protected in the goal there. Puts the ball down and clears it again away for Wexford. Down towards the waiting Joe Murphy. Joe's 50 yards out from the Kilkenny post, and he's beaten by Pat Lawler. Pat trying to get the ball out, but he's outnumbered now. Joe Murphy is no hurley, but he's got boots, and he kicks the ball to Martin Quigley. Martin 60 yards out from the Kilkenny post, being chased by Frank Cummins. He's 50 out now. He's 40 now. He drops the ball. He gets it into his hand again. He takes a shot, and it's gone to the left of the posts, and it has gone out for a 70. It's that nicely. Has he got the direction right? Noel Skean blocks it down under the bar, getting it out there. Pulled down first time by Pat Flynn, and the ball has gone wide as the umpires consult again. Pat Flynn pulling on it very quickly, but sending it wide. And so it's 1-3 for Wexford, and it's 3 points for Kilkenny, and we've 24 minutes gone in the first half. Stealing a yard or two outside the squares. He pucks it now. Coming down about 50 yards out in the Kilkenny post. Added too well by Tony Doran over his head on towards Dan Quigley. Dan can't hold on to it. Now comes Jim Tracy, and Jim first timing it right into the centre of the field again for Kilkenny. Bursting after there, John Kinsella. John trying to get it up into his hand, but there's another man bursting as well. It's John Quigley, and John has it for Wexford. 50 yards out. Swings it in across in front of the goal. It goes right in towards Joe Murphy. Joe has shot, and it's saved by Noel Skean. Noel Skean having a great game for Kilkenny in the goal today. It's finally cleared out by Jim Tracy. Ball snapped up again by Pat Flynn for Wexford. Pat making his way into Tony Doran. A shot from Tony, and it's saved by Pa Dillon. Pa blocking it down. Jack Berry sending it back in, and Pa Dillon gets it again and clears it away for Kilkenny, and he's having quite a game in front of the post too. It's gone over the sideline, far side of the field, and it's a line ball. Going to be taken by Frank Cummins for Kilkenny. Frank has a little bit of a run before he gets up to it now. He cuts it in fairly nicely. Blocked up a bit by Willie Murphy towards Teddy O'Connor for Wexford. Teddy can't hold it either. Eddie Kerr nips in. He's 14 yards out. He's lost his stick, and the ball is intercepted there by Phil Wilson, who's playing everywhere for an old man, you might say, a veteran on the hurling team. Phil Wilson is just about everywhere today. He gets the ball out. It goes over the sideline though, and it's a line ball for Kilkenny. Just outside the Wexford 50 yards line. Liam O'Brien going to take it. Shortish one towards John Kinsella. Good shot in towards the goal, and Pat Nolan grabs it there, but the whistle is gone, and we're going to have a 21 yards free for Kilkenny. Wasn't a bad ball at all. 21 yards free then for Kilkenny. Taking a lot of care with placing this ball. You didn't really imagine he had a tee there for it. I'm sure he hasn't. This is every appearance of his going for a goal though. He goes for it, and it's blocked in the goal mouth. And it's Tom Neville with the ball, and he's making his way out as he's brought down, and it's a free out. Great defensive work today by Wexford. Believe me, the half-back line doing well earlier. We're now going to say that the full-back line doing just as well. Tom Neville there just was letting nothing pass, believe me, as the free out is taken by the goalkeeper Pat Nolan for Wexford. They're sent back again though by Liam O'Brien into the centre of the field. Further on by Pat Lawler, and Kilkenny building a bit of an attack now. Pat Delaney playing full forward now, coming out to it, but doesn't get hold of it. John Quigley does. John in possession, tumbles there. Pat Delaney after him. John still trying to get his way out past Pat Delaney, and he still has control of the ball, and he clears it away. Good work by this half-back line for Wexford today. Sending it right up along the left wing. It's grabbed by Tony Doran, 21 yards out. Into the centre, the big Dan Quigley on the edge of the square. Palming it back in towards Jack Berry. Jack loses control of it. It's still in the goal mouth though, as Pa Dillon comes out, gets the ball into his hand miraculously somehow, and clears it away for Kilkenny. 60 yards out in the Kilkenny posts. The tussle going on there. Willie Murphy more or less getting the better of it, but it's hit out first time by Eamon Morrissey for Kilkenny on towards Mossy Murphy. 60 yards out, 50 now as he sends it over the far side towards Kieran Purcell. Kieran being chased by John Quigley. Kieran Purcell still with that ball. He's bouncing at a man all over the place. Swings it across the far side. He meant it for Eddie Kerr, but it was a very poor pass, and the ball is cut off for Wexford by Colm Doran, very near his own end line, but he clears it away. And Phil Wilson going up for that one, judging it well, gets it into his hand, 50 yards from his own goal for Wexford. Drops the hurley and kicks it away. He plays football for Wexford too, you know, and he kicks it left-footed over towards Christy Keogh. Christy 60 yards out. He's hooked the first time there by... Second half has been much livelier than the first half, much more entertaining as Pat Nolan pucks out again for Wexford. Right into the centre of the field. A good jump by Frank Cummins. Frank blocking it down there towards John Kinsella. John is outnumbered for a moment. Then it's got by Kieran Purcell. Kieran with the ball now. Hitting it from 60 yards out. Dropping it about 30 yards out. Eddie Kerr grabs it. Trying to make his way through. The whistle is gone though as Eddie and John Quigley are having a word or two. It's going to be a free for Kilkenny. before the words started being spoken. The referee is speaking a few now to both of them, and it's a free in for Kilkenny, 25 yards out to the left of the post. Eddie Kerr to take it, 2 points between them. Eddie takes it now, there's 1 point between them. "17 minutes gone in this second half. One single point between them as Pat Nolan pucks out. Christy Keogh blocks it out towards Tony Doran. Tony adding to it further. 3 Wexford men going for it. Dan Quigley the one with it. Dan being watched by Pat Dillon. Has the ball taken from him by Pat Dillon. Takes it back from Pat Dillon. This is 30 yards from the Kilkenny post. Eventually neither of them gets hold of it. Goes this instead to young Martin Quigley over there, and Martin Quigley is fouled, held on to, and it's a free in for Wexford. Free for Wexford. 25 yards out, Dan Quigley takes it on the left and he sends it over the bar. 2 points between them again. 18 minutes gone in the second half. 2 points in the difference. And still 22 minutes to play. I think it's Joe Murphy's gone off the Wexford team. Con Dowdall is definitely there anyway, has taken his place. But anyway, we'll watch this ball as it's poked out and it's blocked down there for Kilkenny. I got up into his hand and poked away for Kilkenny very nicely by Liam O'Brien. Down towards Eddie Kerr. Mick Trotty's there as well, so is Pat Delaney, a very exciting player. 25 yards out, Pat shoots and it's over the bar. 111-110. Wexford lead by that solitary point. It's nothing at all in a hurling game. 18 and a half minutes gone in the second half. I think we did mention earlier that Delaney is playing full forward for Kilkenny. This is just to confirm it. John Quigley following him everywhere. But that's the position he's in. John Quigley more or less full back now for Wexford by necessity. Pat Flynn gets the ball from the puck out, 40 yards out, takes a shot for Wexford, but it's not a very hard one. It's gone to the right of the post and it's gone wide. Noel Skehan, like a lot of hurlers in goal anyway, he has 2 sticks, one for saving with and one for pucking out with. The one with the big boss is for saving with, and the one he has now is the one he's pucking out with, and he drops it away in towards the Wexford goal. It's only about 21 yards out. Pat Delaney comes out, scoops it up onto his hand, loses the ball, tackled by John Quigley. He gets the ball again. Pat Delaney coming into the right, loses the stick, palms it across and it's over the bar and they're level. Dan Quigley after it now, but Dan hadn't much chance with that as Pat Henderson was there long before him, and Pat a long one up into the Wexford half, and now it's Tom Neville pucking it back out again. Right in front of us here, it's going towards the sideline, it hasn't gone over it yet. Tremendous stash of sticks there, and Christy Keogh's stick broken as Eamon Morrissey emerges for Kilkenny and drives it right back into the Wexford half again. I think Mick Trotty's gone off the Kilkenny team. And John Quigley's gone off the Wexford team now, and somebody's replaced him, but we're watching the ball right now in the centre of the field. It's Kieran Purcell trying to steer it away, but it's got by Teddy O'Connor for Wexford, to Martin Quigley for Wexford, 60 yards out and now he's 50, to Phil Wilson unmarked on the left, and a great burst of speed from him, and he leaves the ball behind him. What a pity for Wexford there. But coming in behind is Martin Quigley for Wexford. He runs into a tackle. It's going to be a free in. It has to be a free in. It is a free in, and a bit of a free for all now on the Kilkenny 14 yards line. A bit of a free for all. Referee is in there. Don't think anyone's hurt or anything like that. We saw a free for all sending Martin Quigley and Fran Larkin off the field. Martin Quigley of Wexford, Fran Larkin of Kilkenny off the field. So he's going to stand for no nonsense, certainly no sticks swinging, although there was nothing terribly dangerous, I must say. Nobody hurt on the level. It's a 21 yards free for Wexford. Dan Quigley takes it and sends it over the bar, and the teams are level again. A pity that little incident had to crop up. Both players were doing very well today. 14 men apiece on the field. A man each sent off, as 113 is the score for both teams, and the ball pucked out again by Noel Skehan for Kilkenny. Whistle goes as Frank Cummins is hooshed off the ball there, and it's going to be a free in, 60 yards out from the Wexford posts, way out on the right. Frank Cummins himself presumably will take it, or will he? No, he's leaving it to Liam O'Brien, his midfield colleague on the Kilkenny team. We're in the last 10 minutes of the game now as Liam takes this. It's a dangerous